la gran ciudad, aquí es donde me gusta siempre estar. Tengo demasiado en qué pensar. Oye, mi Ulises, déjame empezar. Sí, déjame empezar. Vengo de la gran ciudad, aquí es donde me gusta siempre estar. Tengo demasiado en qué pensar. Venga, Marcelo, déjame empezar. Chaga, crecí en la ciudad más contaminada del mundo, la que te arranca el alma cada segundo, la que es tan grande que ni yo me acostumbro, ni la neta ni conozco estos rumbos. Mira, la distancia mínima ya suena al mercado. Dime si no has sido víctima de algún altercado. Aquí es donde un día de vacación lo pagas con tu vida, donde hierve la nación y las familias son unidas. Aquí todos los ejes tienen nombres de suicidas y la decisión que tomas puede ser la decisiva. Mami, aquí te pica el sol y otro día hay tanta lluvia, donde el día se rock and roll y nos encanta la cumbia. Diario es la misma chingadera, que te pones pedo y amaneces sin cartera. Sigue esa vibra setentera, que entre víboras me te enteras. Traza tu frontera, ya sea en el Rosario, Plaza Antara. La muerte rumia en tu clase ya ni Dios te ampara. Las medidas de protección son claras. Echa la mirada al suelo y ve a los puercos a la cara. Vengo de la gran ciudad, aquí es donde me gusta siempre estar.
Hey guys, welcome back to another live stream of Sin Filtro. This is your host Jay Vasquez, and today we have a very special guest, David Navarrete from Arizona Filmmakers and Moneta De Sine. Also, some pretty interesting topics that I'm sure if you spend a lot of time on TikTok, I'm sure you've seen the Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber drama for your mama. And also, Arizona Phoenix Council just passes a policy for anti-discrimination against rent. So stay tuned. This is Sin Filtro.
As a beginner filmmaker, we tend to wear all the hats, and without a supportive community to lean on, we sort of stay that way. We stay wearing all the hats and quickly burn ourselves out. And I know that you've personally felt this, doing all the work, putting countless hours, yet you stay stagnant in your film career. Starting out, I've personally been there. And the answer to that problem was the connections that you have and your network. It's simple. The more people you know, the more opportunities you have. And that is why we created Arizona Filmmakers. Arizona Filmmakers is a community meant to bring awareness to the Arizona film community and help those beginner filmmakers expedite their film careers by providing them practical resources and connect them to high-level video production business owners so that they can reach that next level. My personal goal for upcoming filmmakers is to eliminate any excuses for them not to succeed. So be part of this community now. Reap the benefits of success at an early on stage. The last thing you want to do is join later when this community starts to become saturated, when it gets hard to get your name out there. So stay connected with us for upcoming events, upcoming workshops, and different challenges to challenge your filmmaking skills. Follow us on Instagram at Arizona Filmmakers, or you can follow our Facebook group at Arizona Filmmakers. Let's stay connected and let's grow this community together.
And just like how you guys saw the video, here I have David. David, how are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you for having me on Sin Filtro.
No, well, thank you for accepting the invitation, honestly. I'm just like really excited that you're here. I know all the work you've been doing, and just like the video was stating how, you've been building this network of filmmakers. So Tell us a little bit more about what's going on right now with that.
So building the network of filmmakers, the reason why I did that is because going into video production, I had no network. And the thing they say is the people you surround yourself with is the people who you'll become like. So I wasn't surrounding myself with anybody who did film or video. So I was like, how am I supposed to grow if I don't have that connection?
Right.
And at the time, I couldn't find any groups or anything that existed that would help me. So I tried to build it through Moneta De Sine, which is my production company.
Yep.
And I noticed that people were like, oh no, I don't want to really, I'm just helping you promote your own production company.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this isn't working. And I tried a lot. And then around the same time, I saw a good friend of mine was starting something called Arizona Entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And I was like, bro, let me help you. I see where this is going. Let me help you build your brand, tell your story, put your content out there. And in less than 1 year, we were throwing events with 250 people.
That's great, man.
And it was working. So then I was like, okay, can I replicate this with my community? And I looked up, and no one had Arizona Filmmakers, the website, the LLC, the Instagram. No one, like, as long as filmmaking in Arizona's been here, no one had that.
See, yeah, you told me about that when I met you. You were like, nobody had the name. And I was like, because when I saw the name, and I met David at Indie Film Fest, and I talked about it a couple of the last episode. Indie Film Fest is basically just a filmmaking festival where they help out a lot of filmmakers, upcoming actors, people of color in the film industry. And I met him there, and then I was like, that's a cool name. Like, and then you said nobody had it. I was like, what? I was like, it sounds like a very great professional name. And honestly, I'm very happy and excited for you that it has been working out. And just like you said in the video, like, do you agree with that your network is your network?
Yeah, it is 100%. I think that's what I owe my success to. I first, with my production company, I first found that the success was being in a room full of entrepreneurs, Arizona entrepreneurs. Shout out to Devin. I don't know if you're watching this, but then secondly, I was like, hey, I need to learn filmmaking. I need to be in a room full of filmmakers.
Yeah.
No one was doing it, so I was like, I'm going to go do it. And here we are now.
Awesome. Well, we're going to continue on with the interview. But first, like I said, he's joining us at the table. So one of the first trending topics we're going to talk about is the Selena Gomez versus Hailey Bieber drama. So I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but I mean, it was all over my TikTok. And it's so interesting because it's International Women's Day, it's International Women's Month, and then here we have the internet bashing, throwing women under the bus, making them fight. And I'm not sure if right now they've like hashed it out or if they even are aware of what's going on. You know,
it's weird because when I first saw it, it was just funny posts on TikTok, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, I need to find the people who are explaining what's going on. But do you know like how it started? Do you want to talk about?
So it started out with like them posting up, like Hailey Bieber posting up a video, and then Selena Gomez doing something, and then Hailey Bieber kind of copying her, and this and that. And it's the funniest thing about this is the people on the internet are
making it bigger than
what it is. But it's so funny because it's like she does one thing and then they do the other, and then she does this, and then it's like a jab back and forth.
Yeah.
And so the internet has picked it up, made so many evidence videos like that there is something going on, and that's why it has been blowing up. But interestingly enough was I believe, I'm not sure because I don't have a lot of time on my hands, but I think Selena Gomez is now the most followed person on Instagram.
No way.
Beating Kylie Jenner. And Kylie Jenner is Hailey Bieber's friend.
Because they were losing followers every day, right?
Yeah, I mean, they can just buy followers. Might as well buy 1 billion followers, and it's all over. But yeah, interestingly enough, so we'll keep you updated on that, or we'll see what happens with that drama.
Wait, so what team are you on?
I am I am Team Selena. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I don't know Hailey Bieber. I mean, she's Justin Bieber's boyfriend. I mean, husband. They're married. Yeah, there you go. My bad.
What's funny is on the way over here in the radio, they were saying that, funny enough, this whole drama has strengthened Hailey and Justin Bieber's relationship. Because she's now leaning more on Justin for comfort, and it's made their marriage stronger. So who's the winner? You know, when you really look at it.
You know, it's so messed up because it's like I saw this other video where it's like that Justin Bieber was at a concert and they were saying F you, Hailey, screw her, this and that. And
did he do anything?
No, I mean he's at a concert, and when you're at a concert you don't do anything.
Yeah.
But that's so messed up. I'm saying sometimes people just need to relax, need to hop off the internet sometimes.
They're people.
They're people too. Stop making women fight against women. Celebrate something good in your life. But continuing on, Phoenix passes policy to protect renters from income discrimination. So Phoenix Council, they have voted on it. It's still not passing, but it's been thanks to a lot of organizations, advocacy, really fighting for these high rent prices. I mean, ridiculous, man. They're still high. Sometimes I know a lot of people that I have roomies.
They have like 9 roommates.
Yeah, that's like the new thing. They're like, "How many roommates do you have?" I have 3.
I'm
okay.
on my 6th
I'm
one.
on my 6th one. I had to kick out the last one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, it's still in the process of passing. But this is a human rights issue because it really is. We're trying to get affordable rent, and you have a lot of corporatism making these rent prices out of control, leaving people homeless, leaving people with no choice but to work 3, 4 jobs, 5 jobs too, maybe.
It's really tough.
But it's very tough, and I think it's very great. I want to keep talking about this, especially if it has to. I'm sure this really affects young people who are coming out of college, coming out of high school. Definitely, this is something that I really do support. And so, continuing on with the ordinance definition of source of income includes the following: child or spousal support, foster care, subsidized, rental assistance, down payment assistance, income derived Social Security, veterans benefits, Section 8 housing. So if this really gets to the point where it needs to, you could be able to get a place without having that door shut in front of your face. But what do you think about this, David?
Oh, this is an awesome opportunity. Hopefully it does, pass, giving more opportunity to people to just have a place to stay,
Definitely.
I know Arizona's growing like crazy, and they're saying it's going to be like the next California.
Hey.
So,
yeah,
right?
I like how you said that.
But hopefully it's not in the way California is, where you see like a lot of homeless people everywhere, so hopefully this is that one step in that right direction.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, and I agree on that, and I hope everybody who moves to Arizona, who lives in Arizona, doesn't, and all over the country, doesn't have to struggle with this. This is a very important issue, especially in our generation. But guys, we will take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back continuing on with David Navarrete interview. This is Sin Filtro. Stay tuned.
Proveedora de servicios en alianza con servicios privados, nos dedicamos a preparar sus documentos para solucionar problemas legales. Si usted tiene un problema legal, llámenos al 480-558-4849. 480-558-4849. Estamos
back on Sin Filtro, and I'm telling you, thank you to my producer who's doing an amazing job back there handling the dirty business. But here we are back with David. Again, thank you for taking on the interview, and we had just shared your video of Arizona filmmakers. So just explain a little bit of the purpose of where we're picking it up from here. Like, where is Arizona filmmakers going?
So honestly, I hope I can make Arizona the new cultural hub of the world. You know how Hollywood has been? If Arizona can be that, we have great weather, and everyone seems to be moving here. So if we can establish that indie community, then when big Hollywood studios come, they're going to have to acknowledge us and be like, okay, we'll work with you. Let's see how we can help the Arizona community. Instead
definitely.
of just kicking us out,
Yeah, and see, like, I think that you mentioned Hollywood, we might be the next Hollywood. And I had that idea like a year ago, too. I was like, hey, there's a lot of people moving here. There's a lot of movement. And somehow it feels very new here. Mm-hmm. Why? And I asked myself, why? Like, why is it like that, all these events like Indie Film Fest, Arizona Filmmakers, there's a lot more things happening, but, you feel so new to it. It's like, why do you think no one has created something like this?
Well, I think, number one, people are stuck on, like, this, like, dusty, hot, state. And sometimes when they're trying to brand something that comes out of Arizona, they're branding it as like a cactus and deserty, and like they're not making it appealing. You know what I mean? Like you don't like California is the same. Like California has, because number one, Arizona has all 4 biomes. It has the wind, it has the tundra, it has a forest, it has desert, and it has grasslands. That's all 4 biomes in the world.
Right. Yeah.
So it has all different types of temperature. But California is promoting their luxury beaches and all that stuff. What are we promoting? It's more like the dusty desert.
People, it's not just desert and lizards and snakes. There's a lot of snakes here.
We have like a man-made beach over here in Havasu. Like we have so much stuff and so many sceneries that we can shoot at. So I think I did see a lot of people trying to make that. And, you know, they would mention desert or like cactus,
right?
And I just stuck with Arizona Filmmakers and made it really flashy with the brand colors purple and blue, which was the guy who made our logo chose for us, and just told stories about how to connect people.
Amazing logo too.
Thank you. It was by Pyramid Branding on Instagram. So
awesome. So
yeah,
let's take it from here then. What was your beginning filmmaking experience? So what really kicked off that? Like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. Oh man, this is a crazy story because I didn't think I was gonna join B production, like video. I didn't think there was any money into it, and I wanted to be a doctor. So I went to school to pre-med. Wow. Got my bachelor's in biology. I was like, I'm gonna be a doctor. But when I was like shadowing some doctors, I noticed that the industry is really sad. Some people are turning down patients, and they were like fighting with the insurance in their office saying, I need to get this surgery approved. And I was like, if I'm already $30,000 in debt from school, and I have to be like hundreds more to be a doctor, and if I become a doctor, am I going to be depressed for the rest of my life? I had to make that decision. And at the time, my parents were providing for us. We're staying at their house. And then I had a wife and my son. So to tell my parents and my wife, you know, that I'm not going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a videographer, it was I felt like a disappointment.
Okay.
So through that depression, I leaned heavily on video. And I found out I was really good. And I think that depression and that like save your hobby that saved me is what got me into it.
That's great, man. And like you said, you really had to like pivot, try it out, and then that's when it clicked for you, right? Awesome. So what was your biggest accomplishment or bucket list you've had since you've started Arizona Filmmaking?
Arizona Filmmakers? I want to say being able to work with the bigger clients, because people don't realize here in Arizona, people think that it's like don't collaborate with other filmmakers or other video productions because it's competition. And one of our taglines for Arizona Filmmakers is community over competition. Those people have a scarcity mindset, and I think I did this on another podcast, but we have this mindset of a crab. Do you know why they don't put lids on top of a bucket when they put crabs inside?
No, I'm not sure.
So when one crab tries to climb out, the other crabs pull him down. So the crabs pull each other down. So if I can't get out, you can't get out. That's the crab mindset. And so we need to switch to a bee or an ant mindset where we help each other out to achieve a certain goal. So that's basically what helped me get bigger jobs, is by surrounding myself with these people, and they saw how good of a work I was doing, and they're like, hey, I have a client that I can't handle. Can you do it? And I was like, oh, shoot, I got this huge client just because I was friends with other filmmakers.
Awesome. Great. So how do if I have no experience and I see Arizona Filmmakers, how do I get involved? And what would my experience be like to get involved with it?
So first, start following us. Just follow our Instagram and Facebook. And as soon as we start putting on events, and we also have a community calendar, so we show what events are happening in the community, like Indie Film Fest. Go to them. Just go. Start networking. Don't sell yourself to the networking events. Don't go around with your business card like, this is me, That's a horrible way to network. You want to build lifelong relationships. And if you come across as a salesperson, they're going to be like, I don't want to talk to you.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So just start coming out to our events, and then eventually we're going to have just private events for people who are part of our community, like community leaderships, stuff like that.
Yeah. I think I've seen one of the events, the interesting event is the Sip It and Click It.
Yeah.
So explain a little bit about like that project, that event that happened.
So Sip It and Click It started because a good friend from the community, Caleb Marsh, wanted to provide the community headshots.
Yeah.
Because we noticed that a lot of people were sending in selfies or old headshots. Yeah.
Car
in the
selfies.
car, like you see the headset, the headrest.
Yeah.
And so we're like, let's help the community get professional headshots so we all look really nicely.
Yeah.
And so his team, great group of people, set up 3 stations, and then we invited the community to get some headshots for a $70 70% off.
Okay.
So super cheap.
Yeah.
And then we had a good time. We were it's called Sip It and Click It because we were drinking and taking pictures.
And networking, right?
And networking. Yes.
That's great. See, like you mentioned, people are sending their car selfies, and I just want to clear it up too, because it's like, I'm also working in media, but it's an investment. It really is. It's an investment that is worth it. So it definitely, if you're starting out, you should definitely check out Arizona Filmmakers, because they are doing it. Like you said, you did it for the community, and you wanted to professionalize it, make it look even better. And honestly,
and all our events are, so every single event is just to help the community, whether it's like giving you a chance to feel like a star on our red carpet events, which we'll have one coming up in May, or getting to know a particular group of the community. All our events are collaborative with other people in the filmmaking in Arizona, so everyone gets a chance to be on the spotlight.
Okay. What kind of people would I find at Arizona filmmaking events?
So much.
Yeah.
Have you seen the credits at the end of the movie?
It's like
there's like just an army of people that make a movie. So everyone who is involved in making a movie will be there. Carpenters, makeup artists, set designers, people who handle the camera, the crew, the actors, producers, audio engineers, musicians.
Great.
So you have
It's
a lot
a
of people.
whole variety.
Yeah.
Okay. And then would I, if I wanted to come on, if I wanted to go to your event, is there usually a price? Is there?
Yeah, we're fairly, it's typically on our low end, it's $25 to $100.
Okay.
Per ticket. And the red carpet events are going to be $100 tickets. It's going to be, you're going to walk you down the red carpet. You've seen the glam bot at the Grammys and stuff. That slow motion. We have something similar to that. We have a robot provided by Real Bros. And then just a cool place.
That's great. So, I mean, like I've said, like it's an investment, $100. It's just like you need the exposure. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, that you need to be around people. You need to be talking with people with the same mindset to get there, right?
Because like I said, I was never able to crack into these bigger clients until I was part of this community. Like, that simple.
And like you said, don't be a crab.
Don't be a crab.
Be a bee or an ant, because yes, it's very hard to do anything with no help, no connection. And people I think a lot of entrepreneurs are still in this mindset that it's a very me, and I can do it all for myself.
Yeah.
But what do you have to say to that?
Don't wear all the hats. I know in filmmaking there's so many hats to wear, and when you're starting out, you have to wear all those hats. But eventually get into this community or find communities in filmmaking and start seeing what hats you can hand off and make those genuine connections so that people want to help you. Think about how you can give instead of receive.
Awesome. Yeah. So then let's talk about Moneta De Sine. That's also your other business, right?
That's my first baby.
That's your baby. That's great.
Business. I got another baby that I love much more.
But explain a little bit more about that, about Moneta De Sine, and what services does that offer?
So Moneta De Sine is a branding media agency that helps businesses find their brand voice, brand image, and helps them build brand awareness through videos. So it's heavily relying on storytelling because, the basic, down to when we were just single cells. The goal of organisms is to pass on information.
Yeah.
A single cell was passing information to the new cell by DNA. Now we're passing information and stories through each other through stories.
Yeah, there you go.
So stories are the best way to pass on information.
Okay.
And in business, the best way to gain sales is to be able to pass information at a really at a well, rate.
Yeah. Do you think it has changed though? Like, advertising, media, like for like I would say like probably the past 10 years, it's changed a lot, right? It's not like it used to be anymore.
So like I said, I just got into this. I was all into medicine and biology.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how it was, but what I did know is that when I started making videos, I wanted to make the best, flashiest videos. And I was like, okay, I'm there. I feel like my art is pretty good. But then my clients weren't doing anything with the videos. They were not posting it. And I was like, okay, what am I actually providing? So then I was like, let me learn marketing. And I learned a little bit of marketing, and I noticed that every day is changing. There's so many different ways to market yourself. And I was like, how do I keep up with that?
Yeah.
So secondly, I learned about sales, hated sales. I don't like rejection. So
Me neither.
yeah, exactly. So then lastly, I learned about branding. And branding was like the key that I found. However, whichever way you want to market yourself, whether it's paid ads, email marketing, sponsored, whatever, if your brand looks good, they're going to buy.
Awesome. And here we have part of one of the events.
Sip it and click it.
That was Sip It and Click It, and that's part of Arizona Filmmakers. So yes, they're on Instagram, and they will keep posting up these events. But what other services does Moneta Design offer?
So we have 3 services. We have our Story Bites, which is really popular. It's where we capture B-roll for your company. So instead of using stock footage, you now have a library of footage that is catered to your brand.
Yeah.
So you can use that in your reels. You can use that in other videos that you make. You can do a voiceover. So it's very popular. And then we have our full production service, which is we write all the scripts for you. And we come up with crazy commercials that we can do for you.
Okay.
So those are really
That's
fun.
great. Yeah.
And then lastly, we have videography services, which is a really popular service because everyone wants just a guy to come up with a camera and shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have those 3 services.
That's great. How would you say, like, how can someone that needs these services, how can they get a hold of you?
They can go to my Instagram, or they can go to my website, which is monetadesign.com or Moneta Design. And you can email us at welcome@monetadesign.com.
Awesome. Thank you. So then you mentioned storytelling.
Yeah.
I know we were talking about it right now when we weren't live streaming, but what is your style of storytelling?
So my style of storytelling, it goes back to The Hero with 1,000 Faces.
Okay.
It's Joseph Campbell who wrote the book. He talks about that every hero, every story told goes back to this simple, I think it's 12 steps, but I simplify it down to, you can simplify it down to 3, which is you show an ordinary world or something familiar.
Okay.
Then you show a conflict. And then from that conflict, you show a resolution, and that has bettered that person. So simple.
Very simple, yeah.
So always find a conflict that the person can change from it.
Yeah.
Because that's what we love. We love to see that change. And like, okay, if I come across this challenge or this problem and I am able to overcome it, I feel really good about myself.
Yeah. How do you get over challenges? How do you overcome your challenges, your personal challenges, whether it's at work, you know?
A lot of my challenges that I've overcome is just relying on my wife. Just going back and leaning on my wife during those times.
Awesome.
Because believe it or not, creating Arizona Filmmakers has created a bunch of haters too. And I get sometimes I get some hate. And what's really nice is that I know that I can come home, close the door, and then I'm welcomed by a loving family.
I love that. Shout out to the wifey. Thank you for creating something, for supporting and being there. But hey, man, don't ignore us. We don't have time for the haters right now.
No, what's funny is that I'm so I feel like I'm a nurturing person that when someone said, yo, David is a hack, he doesn't know how to dress, he doesn't this and that. And then I reach out to them, I'm like, hey, yo, I don't know you, but why do you say that? Like, what I've done, like, how can I help you? And then they start talking to me like this and that. And then slowly I'm like, well, is there any way I can help you? Like, what are you struggling with right now that I can?
Some coffee.
Exactly. I just kill them with kindness, and then they become friends.
What?
Yeah. So it's like, I understand that whatever you're saying at me isn't about me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's about something that you're struggling with, because if you were perfectly like balanced, you know, if you were in a good space, you wouldn't be saying those things.
Right. No, definitely. I can relate to that, because it's like, you know, I don't know. I'm online. I live stream. And nobody has messaged me, which is funny, because it's like, maybe it's waiting to happen, you know. But honestly, I'm probably not gonna reply.
You're gonna be like, I'm gonna
delete it. Just that's
Yeah.
it, because it's like it can get very intense, right?
Yeah. I try not to get personal. Like in anything. This is from the book, The Four Agreements.
Okay.
Don't take anything personal and don't assume anything. So whatever is happening outside of you is not because of you. It's you can interpret it a certain way, and that's all you have control of.
Right.
But if someone's being mean to you, it's not because of you. It's not personal. It's not because of how you look. It's about a reflection of them.
Oh.
So I don't take it personal.
Yeah.
When they do that stuff, because it's not me.
Yeah. So it basically goes and then.
Yeah.
Like ricochets off of you.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay. So I also noticed that you read. Do you read a lot?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
I have dyslexia and I hate reading.
Oh. Okay. But what's your favorite book, though, like, that you've read so far?
I'll tell you the books that really changed my life, and I feel like I've mentioned a few of them.
Yeah.
But Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
I haven't read it, but
you got to read it tonight. You got to go home and... Well, I do audiobook.
Well, okay. It's because, okay, I'm gonna get a little bit off topic. Okay. I'm sorry, but all these marketing people, they have ruined a lot of things, and they're always saying, well, read it, and then they end up like scamming people. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
really?
Yeah. So
for Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
But that's just my story. But yeah, like you said, you read that one, and then what did you get out of it? What did you...
Well, I listened to it, but what's funny with the backstory of that is that I was working... I don't think I mentioned this, but I was working 3 jobs after college because I was overcompensating. I was working UPS during the night, and I was working door-to-door sales for Sprint, and then I was doing... I was working at BJ's, and then on the off hours that I had, I'll be working on my business. So at UPS, I was telling people, I want to be a business owner. And there was one guy who was, working. He worked there for 14 years. He's like, you do want to be a business owner? I have everything you need. Start with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then he sent me the audio thing. And then in the car every day on my way to work, I'll be listening to it, and it just made sense. I was like, oh, shoot. I got to be an investor. I got to be a business owner.
Because that's where it leads to, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure that with all the connections you've been building, you have your business going. How does that feel now? Like, looking back into, like...
I'm so grateful, because I was one of those people that, before 2021, I was one of those people that thought there was no way out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was one of those like mental health problems where there's no way out. I think the only option is to just unalive. I didn't think there was any possible way to get out of that depression.
Definitely.
So just to see how far I've come and how full of life I am now is insane. And if anyone else feels that way, where they feel like they are trapped and there is no way out, just keep on pushing, because you don't know what's on the other side. I didn't think this was on the other side, and I'm so grateful, so full of life. I'm so thankful.
No, definitely. I agree with you too. And I can say from my experience too, like, I had to just keep going, but I already knew. I was like, it's going to happen. And I was very hopeful. I didn't really have a lot of support, but yet I kept pushing and pushing. And then also just finding like the good things in life, like the happiness, the enjoying, the small things, and I'm just grateful too,
Yeah.
But for you, then what's the next big thing for you?
Honestly, now it's time for me to figure out how to run the two businesses by themselves so that I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And I could go take my wife on a vacation on a beach somewhere and relax. That's
great.
the next goal.
Yeah. How important do you think it is for mental health to play out in your career? Like for actors, for entrepreneurs, how important is that?
Like, should they have?
Yeah, should they like if someone is going through something, what is like the way for you to to tell them hey, it's important to take care of your mental health?
Yeah, it's super important. It shouldn't be on a back burner. Number one, if you're gonna invest, if you're barely getting in the investment, space, the number thing you should invest on first is yourself.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a business owner, you want to have a business and everything, don't start thinking about ideas of how to invest on drop shipping or doing something like that. First thing you should invest on is yourself.
Yep.
Because you need to condition yourself to be able to hold all that weight, all the business and everything. You need to condition your mind and your body. So you're never going to be able to hold that unless you worked on yourself.
Yep.
So it's super important. I would say what's helped me is also not seeing a counselor, not seeing a therapist, is seeing a life coach.
Ooh.
A life coach that helps you and gives you tools on how to cope with life.
Who is your life coach?
Bonnie Maley.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if she's watching, but Bonnie Maley,
No,
thank
it's
you.
great because look at the way that we're living today. It's on the internet.
Yeah.
Don't spend too much time on TikTok, guys.
It's so hard.
There's other things on the internet that really they're life changing.
Yeah.
And so I would say in filmmaking, what has been changing? What changed your life?
In filmmaking?
As soon as you started that, what was changing inside of you? How the way you thought?
Well, I just felt like I had purpose, and I felt like there was something I was able to give. I felt important for the first time in my life because I was always doubting myself, thinking I was never enough.
Yeah.
And so when I started building this, I was like, maybe I am enough. And then I finally had enough confidence to be like, I am enough. And I woke up looking in the mirror saying that.
Yeah.
So that's definitely what helped me.
Awesome. And I know you like you like tech, right?
Yeah.
You dive into tech. So
Yes.
I know you had one event where it was the future of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
I know we're not there's not a lot of talk about it yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's still very new to some people. Some people are like, oh no, don't trust it. It's AI. Is it going to take over the world?
It's going to take over. Yeah.
Yeah. But explain to us a little bit of AI.
AI is so cool, and it's not going anywhere. So if you're scared, be brave, shake it off, because it's not going anywhere. It's like the internet. So we had the Hive hosted an event, and I was the speaker on it called The Future of Artificial Intelligence. And I talked about AI tools that you could use in your business or in your in filmmaking and video. And it was simple, but one of the things I talked about was don't be scared of this change and this thing that's coming, because it has that artificial intelligence that we have, but it'll replace you if you don't embrace it. So yeah.
I've heard of people saying that. They're like, oh, it's going to take our jobs. Like no. And then I saw another video where it was like, you have to learn it, apply it, so that way you can make money out of it. You can learn from it.
Yeah.
Make things way easier, and don't be like, well, it's going to take over my job. No.
No. Yeah. I when it first came, when I first opened it, ChatGPT,
Yeah.
I was like, this can write scripts for people.
Yeah.
And I got scared. But then I was like, wait, this can write more scripts for me, and I'm going to charge people.
And charge people, and then
this is going to supercharge myself. Okay, instead of writing a script that takes me 3 days, I'm going to start asking ChatGPT for details, information, help me structure my writing, give me a good closing and a good call to action, and boom, I have a script in less than an hour.
Yeah.
So
That's
You got to learn it.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still very new to it. I know that I saw some information online where it was like the different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. They took a couple of months to a year to reach 1 million users, and ChatGPT, I believe
less
it was
5 days.
Yeah, less than 5 days. It doesn't mean that people are not using it. It's just they're testing it out right now.
Yeah,
we're testing the waters. We're like,
so I have a list, and for the people that went to that event, I had a list of 600 AI programs.
Wow.
That I gave to them.
Wow.
And there's more. Like leading up to that event, I wanted to keep it fresh and show the best AI websites. And every day they were coming out with new and new cooler programs. I was like, we're not going to be able to keep up with what's coming out. Just try to use what you can and stay creative.
Yeah. Okay. So then that definitely helps you like stay creative. Like, because I know AI will help, take a lot of time off our hand. Like, the free time that we have, we can just apply it to the creativeness, the execution.
And people are worried because it's creating art.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, maybe AI can do some math for us. Okay, sure. But now it's creating like images and artistic paintings. Like, okay, what's going to happen to the artist? Well,
I've seen that.
Yeah, but I think it's not going to replace the creativity. It might create, creative art, but it's not going to replace creativity, because creativity is being able to be open and take things that are unrelated. I'll take construction, and then I'll take painting and create something unique. So being open and not narrow-minded, to be able to take different things that are unrelated, put them together to create something unique, is what creativity is.
That's great. I think you're very creative, because to make an event like that, get people to show up and then pass it out. You're like, here you go. Here are the resources. Here are the tools. That's awesome. Those are the things that you can find at Arizona Filmmakers. And I also have seen that you're connected to the Hive Studios.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the Hive Studios.
So the Hive Studios is a good studio that we partner up with. We have a lot of partners in Arizona Filmmakers, because it's all collaborative work. And the Hive Studios is a studio that prides themselves in being community driven. That's why they're called the Hive, the bee.
The bee.
There we go.
Be a bee, not a crab.
And that's why we like to partner up with them, because they have that same mission of bringing people together into their studio.
That's great. But what else can you tell us though about your personal experience as a filmmaker? Like, how do you tap into your creative side?
That's a good question, because that's the difference between an amateur and a pro. An amateur waits for them to be inspired and to get creative.
No.
A pro turns it on when they want it to do.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I was like, how do I become a pro? Because I used to just wait around, not do anything, and then when I was inspired, I would drop everything I could and get started on what ideas I had. But a pro is able to understand how to put themselves in that mindset to be able to be creative in the moment.
Yeah.
And the way you do that is by being in the moment, not thinking about all these things. So shut off your mind completely. And then what you want to do is nothing. And then when I mean nothing is, don't try to work on something. Try to just the first things that I did to be creative is to be inspired.
Yeah.
Wash dishes.
Okay.
Take a shower.
Oh.
Do something that has nothing to do with me thinking. Because people say when they're in the shower, they have the best ideas.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. So like if you're washing dishes, you're doing something that doesn't take a lot of thinking, ideas are going to start popping up.
Okay.
And that mindset, you got to now learn how to go into that mindset where you're working.
Okay. How would Arizona Filmmakers tap into my creative side? How would
when you're in a room with a whole bunch of creative people like that, you're just inspired.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people say they leave the events with just like, I want to go make a movie now. Like, I can't believe I was here. I want to go do something and collaborate with all these people.
That's great. So, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to have a giveaway for the next upcoming event. So please stay tuned so you can see how you guys can win those tickets.
Ven y visítanos. En New Ride tenemos la mejor opción para ti. Los únicos requisitos para financiar un vehículo con New Ride son los siguientes. 1. Identificación o licencia de conducir vigente. 2. Prueba de ingresos, talones de cheques, estados de cuenta o cartas de trabajo. 3. Prueba de dónde vives. Cualquier comprobante reciente con tu dirección actual. 4. 6 referencias personales. Llámanos para más información al 602-944-1359.
Visítanos en nuestras dos locaciones, 9630 Norte de la 19 Avenida en Phoenix, Arizona, y en el 2602 West Van Buren Street.
En New Ride somos tu mejor opción.
¡Te esperamos!
Hey everybody, we're back again, the live stream for Sin Filtro. We're almost closing out this interview. I hate to do this all the time, but we have to. My producer's kicking me out of the studio already. But you guys can keep checking out more of Arizona Filmmakers on Instagram. You guys have a YouTube, huh?
We do have a YouTube, and we're trying to grow it, so please subscribe.
Go subscribe. They're also on TikTok. Also finding Moneta De Sine, an Arizona video and story brand strategy agency, right?
Yes.
Thank you. And they're also on Instagram, so please go check them out if you need their services. They're there to help you. And check out the rest of the interview with me and David. Give this video a like. And last thing, we're going to give a giveaway right now. So
yes.
Would you like to do the honors?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do a giveaway. We do have one upcoming event called the Women on Set, which is an all-women's filmmaking event. Just trying to bring awareness to the women filmmakers here in Arizona, try to bring them all together and just strengthen those connections. But I'm going to do a giveaway for the next event after that, which is the future of filmmaking. And the future of filmmaking, we're going to show live demos of a virtual set. We're going to talk about AI. We're going to have camera movement talks. And the way we're going to do this giveaway is that you have to message me on Arizona Filmmakers on Instagram and give me this keyword, which is pickles. So say pickles, and I'll know that you heard it on Sin Filtro.
On Sin Filtro. Yes.
So.
Awesome. So, again, message him. Send them the keyword pickles, and then you'll win 2 tickets.
You'll win 2 tickets
to the next event.
We're giving away for the first 2 people that send me pickles.
Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, there you go. Well, guys, please go check it out, because I'm telling you, these events are awesome. It's a great way to get connected. If you're feeling sad, alone, it's also good to just go out there, check it out, step out of your comfort zone, and I would just want to thank you again for accepting the interview and being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for all your viewers too on your cell phone. We were also live streaming on Instagram. And thank you guys again. Give us a like, share, comment, and we'll see you back again on next Thursday, 6 p.m. for Sin Filtro. Tonight we have LVIP show at 9 p.m. So don't forget. And also, we're going to have an event here at Frecuencia Alterna for our new show, Mujer H, which is a really great program. I want to shout out to Melly Moreno and Melly's Health for putting this event together. They're going to be presenting the new program and celebrating International Women's Month. So please stay tuned, and we'll see you back again on Thursday.